What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NBA Knowledge. Today we're looking at 10 pairs of teammates who despise one another. At number 10, Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas. The above picture of Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson isn't a great example of what an authentic friendship looks like. Two of the best basketball players of all time joking around as they prepare for their dream team to decimate the competition at the 1992 Olympics. You know who was nowhere to be found on the greatest team ever associated? Isaiah Thomas. You might ask, how is that even possible? Just ask His Airness. As Jordan reminded all during his Hall of Fame speech, he never forgets anyone who disrespects him. Ever. While Thomas denied ever doing so, it was always suspected that the former Pistons guard orchestrated a freeze-out of MJ during his first ever All-Star Game appearance in 1985. Jordan got his revenge years later when he kept Thomas off the Dream Team. As you can see, it pays to be Jordan's friend. At number 9, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. The Shaq-Kobe feud is one of the most legendary beefs in the history of the NBA, despite being an incredible dynamic duo on the court, which resulted in 3 LA Lakers championships. They each wanted to be the star, and the organization, or the city of LA for that matter, wasn't big enough for the two of them. Eventually, the franchise chose Bryant and shipped O'Neal off to the Miami Heat. Although these two squashed the beef years later, the damage was done, particularly on the hardwood. Egos and immaturity broke up a Lakers squad that had the makings of a historically great dynasty. To this day, we'll never know what the Los Angeles team could have accomplished, and it saddens us to think about it. Such a shame. At number 8, Tony Parker and Brent Barry. Tony Parker and Brent Barry may have enjoyed celebrating the 2007 NBA title together, one that featured a Spurs 4-0 victory over LeBron's Cleveland Cavs, but the above picture is a far cry from what their relationship turned into, and we think it's safe to say that Parker is the one to blame. While Parker denied ever having a physical affair, the same could not be said about the inappropriate sexting relationship he had with Erin Barry, the above teammate's wife at the time. This scandal resulted in the divorce of Parker and Eva Longoria, the end of Barry's marriage, and plenty of fractured relationships after that. Clearly, the Spurs organization hasn't always been a model of excellence. At number 7, Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton. Former Washington Wizards teammates Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton took things to the extreme when an argument over a gambling debt escalated to the point where each of them was making threats about what they'd do to the other at the next practice. More specifically, each acknowledged that they play with guns. Karen Butler described the chilling scene between these two individuals through his own first-person account. Let's just say this is the perfect example of what happens when things go a bit too far. At number 6, Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley. At a time when referees in the NBA weren't so quick with the whistle, players, especially the more physically imposing ones, used to really go at it. Such was the case with Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley, two hot-headed NBA enemies who consistently jabbed at each other and had no issues with treating each meeting like it was a wrestling match. Nowadays, Oakley uses social media to voice his distaste for Barkley. On the flip side, Sir Charles doesn't have an opinion on the oak tree because he's, quote, not important enough for me to think about. His words, not mine. At least these gents are now using words to deal with the bad blood between them. The alternative could have been a lot worse. At number 5, Kobe Bryant and Smush Parker. Just so we're clear, it's not so much that Kobe Bryant dislikes Smush Parker, it's that from a basketball standpoint, he thinks the former LA Lakers starting point guard is, quote, the worst. Like, so bad that he shouldn't have had made it to the NBA. Talk about cold words from the Mamba. Fortunately for us, Smush has no problem of voicing his own opinion, and in case it wasn't obvious enough, he is not the biggest fan of number 24, and for more proof of these NBA enemies, look at this video. At number 4, Kevin Garnett and Carmelo Anthony. Once again, Garnett let his emotions and lack of a filter get the better of him. During a game between the Celtics and the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, Carmelo Anthony was so heated from a confrontation with the then Celtic center that he looked to continue the conversation in the parking lot by the visiting team's bus. While it was later refuted by Lala Anthony, it was initially reported that Melo was furious because Kevin Garnett said Lala tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. Suffice to say, had this been true, we could definitely see where Anthony was coming from. As peaceful as we are, those are fighting words. At number 3, Kevin Durant and Dwight Howard. KD is the kind of player who likes to let his game do the talking, but not even the calm and collected Durant, then injured at the time, could stand by, while Rocket center Dwight Howard showed just how soft of a player he could be. We're not going to repeat what Durant said to Howard, but let's just say he drove his point home, empathetically. At number 2, Kevin Garnett and Charlie Villanueva. Everyone knows that Kevin Garnett played with intensity, emotion, and unbridled passion. Unfortunately, the same traits that made him such a special player over the years also got him into trouble. Following a game against the Garnett Celtics, Charlie Villanueva, who was playing with the then Detroit Pistons at the time and happens to suffer from alopecia universalis, a medical condition that results in an inability to grow hair, tweeted out the following message, quote, "Kevin Garnett called me a cancer patient. I'm pissed because you know how many people died from cancer, and he's tossing it around like it's a joke." According to Garnett, this was just a simple miscommunication. What he actually said was, quote, "You are cancerous to your team and our league." Oh well, when you put it like that. And at number 1, Zach Randolph and Kendrick Perkins. With respect to the beef between Zach Randolph and Kendrick Perkins, there are so many instances of animosity to choose from. There's the time when Zebo was fined $25,000 for confronting Perkins in the locker room area following a physical and chippy game between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And there's the time when Randolph called Perkins out for being, quote, too slow. There's even the time when the Grizzlies power forward stated, quote, "I'm a jackin' dude," when asked if he could take Perkins in a fight. We'd say that final point pretty much sums up the relationship. Well guys, thank you for watching this video of NBA Knowledge. If you enjoyed, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts. I'll see you beautiful faces in the next video. Stay safe and have a fantastic day.